Good morning on this Sunday morning, a glorious morning in Boston. You know, in the last few weeks, I've been speaking about the reality that living nearly 6,000 miles away from Israel, what can we do as Jews? And besides going to rallies, there's a rally today in Coolidge Corner, and supporting on social media and donating money, one of the most important things we could do is rejuvenate our spiritual connection to Hashem, to Torah, to the values that bind us all together as Jewish people. The unity of Am Yisrael is so important. And think about it, what's our real connection to the land of Israel? It's not the UN that made it 75 years ago. It's God that gave us the land in the Torah. And through that Torah, through following the laws of the Torah and the mitzvot, we connect to godliness, we connect to spirituality, and we connect to the land of Israel. And that's why it's been remarkable to see so many of you ask me if you have extra mezuzot so you could hang up on the door, and ask me about buying tefillin or getting Shabbos candles or getting books to be able to sing the songs at the Shabbos table and make the Kiddush to bring in spirituality into your life. And in that vein, I wanted to share with you a little Torah thought from today's Torah portion about our spirituality. In this week's Torah portion, amongst others, we read, the Torah tells us of Avraham Zaken Babayamim. Abraham aged, and he came with his days. And the rabbis ask us, if the Torah says that Abraham was old, why does he have to say Babayamim? He came with his days. And in fact, last week and this Shabbos and Shul, we read the same thing about Abraham and Sarah. So what's the extra superfluous words that say Babayamim? He came with his days. And the Rebbe in an address years ago said something so fascinating. Because the Zohar says Babayamim. What does it mean Babayamim? He came with his days. Every day was cherished by Abraham. There was no day that he was embarrassed of. There was no day that he hid in the closet. There was no day that he says, this day is not so important. I'm not happy with what I did. So the Rebbe asked a question, is really, you all know, if you study a little bit Bible, you know that Abraham at the beginning of his life was steeped in idolatry by his father Terach. In fact, we all know the story, if it was at 3 years old or at 40 years old or at 48 years old, where Abraham broke the idols and found God and revolutionized monotheism, which we gifted to the world. But till then he wasn't. So how could Abraham come with all his days, Babayamim, be proud of every day? Wasn't he embarrassed of his early days? And the Rebbe says something so beautiful. The Rebbe says like this. The Rebbe says that imagine if a scientist revolutionizes a medicine, a vaccine, a fight for cancer. And imagine if once he revolutionized it and he came and it was successful, he says, all those early days that I worked on this drug that failed, all those early trials that weren't good, all the things that failed, I'm embarrassed of what I did. You would tell him that's ludicrous, because ultimately the only way you find the right medicine, the right vaccine, the right drug, or the right technology to revolutionize something is through mistakes, through imperfections. It's a growing spurt. Through experiments, you're able to find the truth. And the Rebbe says that's what God is telling each and every one of us. So many of you, my dear friends, your Judaism is growing on you. It's something that you weren't born with. It's something that you didn't know when you were younger, yet you're learning. And you're growing in your godliness and your Judaism. And that's a beautiful thing. Babayamim, every single day, every curve along the way of learning, every mistake, every imperfection is part of your growth to become closer to God. And that's my hope, that each and every one of you takes an extra moment, does an extra mitzvah, learns a little more, engages with their Judaism, with their spirituality a little more, so they are able to be more connected with God, with Torah, with the Jewish people, and with the Holy Land of Israel. Have a great day.